The stories that we tell, the stories we preserve, contribute to our understanding of what makes us human. Appalshop was founded as part of the War on Poverty project to train young people in disadvantaged communities in making television and film. They felt their home was misrepresented in mainstream media. So Appalshop had this rebellious spirit in its founding. We are going to tell our own stories. We are part of a greater movement in this region where underrepresented communities around the world are trying to better preserve their own histories. And anything that crisscrosses this community or is embedded in this community, rooted in this community, we archive it, and the community is involved in decisions regarding what we save. On the morning of July 28th, 2022, the Kentucky River swelled to 22 feet above its normal level. Downtown Whitesburg was underwater. This was a catastrophic flood. And the Appalshop archive, which was on the first floor, was under 6.5 feet of water. There were a few archival items in there that were just strewn along the road. Audio tape, completely unraveled, wound around flagpoles. Everything was covered with mud, and it was hot, and it was humid. And the biggest enemy of anything archival, pretty much, is humidity, because it can cause mold growth. Preserving your history takes resources, especially when it comes to moving image media.
There's a lot of conversation happening about how climate change could impact our future. There's less conversation happening about how climate change can and is impacting our past. Living Legacy is Iron Mountain's way of supporting our communities through nonprofit partnerships. What we do is we look for nonprofit partners that are specifically focused on cultural heritage preservation and accessibility, and we find ways to help them take the next step in their journey. Our first priority was to get the assets out of the environment that they were in today and into cold storage. And cold storage will help stop the process of mold growth and deterioration of the assets. So that was the first breath of relief, right? We all kind of sighed and said, okay, this is happening, this is real. So what you have to remember about Appalshop is that their collection is a collection of people telling you about their lives. And so when you think of it as a 16mm film in a tin can, and that's somebody's grandmother telling you their history and their story and their way of life.
You can have as much money as you want, but you can't buy back history. And if we lose the history, you can't get it back. It's a race against time, and so the faster we can remediate these and digitize these, the better. I'm dealing with collections that are historic, estates and families that have personal things. When I deliver something like that, it means something to me, because I've done something for them. It's emotional.
Our hope for Appalshop is that our work with them is a stepping stone for them to reach the next step in their journey. I can't think of a better example of elevating the power of their work, of allowing them and enabling them to really get the most value from those assets. We're part of the community, and as part of the community, we have a commitment to help strengthen those communities, to help understand the challenges that the communities are facing, and bring our superpowers as an organization into those communities.
Ownership for a community like this is very important, especially in a place like Eastern Kentucky and Central Appalachia, which has been exploited by industries from outside taking resources, and the people who are affected by these things having no ownership over their land, their own stories. Independent and local preservation by those who understand and embrace the humanity of the subjects is very important because it documents what makes us human.